Hello there, and we're here for a surprise stream on a Thursday evening. It'd be interesting to see. Hello there, Berserker of Thrawn. So I was going to watch the Future Game Show, and I realised there should be at least one Star Wars game present here, which is the Lego Skywalker Saga. And I thought, well, in case EA are here as well, so they may show off some Star Wars content, so why not share myself watching it. Berserker of Thrawn, well, I hope you don't fall asleep during my stream. A nap does sound like a good idea. I'm also here to see if the Mass Effect Legendary Edition gets any new footage. It'd be interesting to see. Just bear with me a second. I'm going to share this streaming link while we wait. I don't know, we'll see what other games come up as well. I'm sure there'll be some exciting content. Bear with me a second. Okay, back to the chat. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to show the Lego Star Wars game, but EA are here, and of course they do have some Star Wars games in development. They haven't said what they are, but maybe we'll see something today. It'd be nice to know more about the Ubisoft game that you guys are talking about in the chat as well. Might be a little bit too early in production, but hey, it might be a good surprise. Gee, let me just check to see, are Ubisoft actually present here, because that will give us an indication. Let's have a look. I'm trying to find a list of who is present at Future Games. Well, it doesn't say anything about Ubisoft on the lineup, so we may or may not find out anything. So we've got Electronic Arts, Sega, Warner Brothers, who are doing the Lego game, Team 17, and it says others. I imagine if a company like Ubisoft was present, it would have been on that list, but I guess we'll find out as we watch. Right, I'm just fiddling with the... Right, so I'm going to ask you guys in chat, do you want to hear me more, or do you want to hear the game trailers more? Because I can adjust the volume accordingly. I can turn up a little bit. Trailers, we've got to vote for trailers. Cameron, you're welcome. Music is loud. Let me just adjust that. Oh, it would help. Oh, that's my volume. We want that up, I think. So I'm just playing around with these settings, which I probably should have done before we started. I think we want it to be about there. Let me know how the volume is. It'd be nice to see more Dragon Age. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which I'm quite excited about. I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect. Oh, this is just the pre-show, so I guess we can't hear the sound. Okay. I believe that's the Gollum game that you saw. How's the volume now? We've got the this is a pre-show thing, so we can experiment with the sound settings while this is happening. Yeah, you play as Gollum. I don't know anything else about it. I guess another thing we'll find out as we watch. Chapter 30. I've got some other dialogue. Still waiting for others. I haven't really got started on it just yet, beyond a couple of shots. Super quiet. We want to get this right, so you get nice balance between what they're talking about and me, I guess. Although, if we get anything exciting, I'm probably going to go very quiet as I watch it. So I'm adjusting the volume slowly, so let me know when it's too much. I'd be surprised if we didn't get anything from Elder Scrolls. Although, are they going to be there too? More volume.
Or connect players all over the world in fast-paced multiplayer action like Barotrauma, Witcher, or Unrail. A game that
there are some games I'd like to see, Star Wars games, but I don't know if they're actually going to happen or not. I'd like to see another strategy game. Hello, well, it hasn't started yet, but I'm hoping that there'll be LEGO news.
One of the most beloved games, Shadow Tactics, from Mimimi Games, is celebrating its 5-year anniversary this December.
Maybe they'll announce another remake of Skyrim while we wait for
With a group of 5 skilled
Elder Scrolls 6.
fight on behalf of to show
Bit more again.
in a game that reinvigorated the hardcore tactical stealth genre. We're happy to announce our plans to return to Japan later this year. Take a look.
How do you do it, huh? How can you act like nothing happened?
I was forced to master my emotions at a very young age. Now, shall we begin?
Let's finish this.
Yoda Stories Remastered.
Ready, Aiko-san. Aiko's Choice is a standalone expansion for Shadow Tactics.
I never played
Blades of the
Shadow
Shogun,
Tactics, but
coming late in 2021,
it's one of those games that
and
looks
now
quite
on
interesting.
Steam. From the beauty of Japan, we now head to the bottom of the ocean, where horror lurks in the shadows, and every step you take may be your last.
And this isn't even the actual game event yet, this is just the pre-show. This looks quite creepy. I like the art style though. It's a hatch. Are we watching Lost? I should be making notes of the games that grab my attention so I can look them up afterwards. Hidden Deep. Well, that looks really creepy. I'm quite interested to learn more about that one.
If you're feeling brave enough, Hidden Deep is coming to early access in May. Wishlisted on Steam today to stay up to date on the latest developments. I'll let you in on a little secret. When I grow up, I want to be an android bounty hunter. You know, fast cars, crazy weapons, and endless villains to use them on.
Hold on, I'm writing that down.
For me, this next game makes all those dreams come true.
Are gang disputes keeping you up at night?
Do you want to love good?
Hi, my name is Maciej. I'm the lead developer of Dark Lord, and today I will show you one of the missions from our game Glitchpunk. You'll get a sneak peek into the second episode, where three factions fight for domination. Brainwashed Ordo fanatics, an anarchistic biker gang called Reapers,
This
and
looks
working
quite
class
interesting as
android
well.
rebels known as the Plague.
Mix of the original GTA games and Blade Runner. A bit of Syndicate as well.
The police already knows that something's very wrong on the streets of Baltia. Roadblocks and bounty hunters might soon show up.
Yeah.
But if everything goes well,
It's got that
you'll see this
GTA
contract
style.
finished, earning some extra cash and perhaps a new tech. In Glitchpunk, your character progresses through new modules that give you new hacks.
It's a mix
new
of
abilities,
GTA and
passive
Syndicate.
stat increases. It allows you to mess with pedestrians, gang members, and police officers in all sorts of ways. Instead of fighting solo against a group of enemies, it might be a good
This is
idea
quite
to start up a fight
interesting.
between gangs and police.
I'm gonna have to write down this name, the name of this game as well when it
Hacking
comes
system and branching
up.
storyline are the major features of the game. Right after this mission, there is a chance to push the story into one of two possible directions. All of that adds to the replayability of the game. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation and keep an eye on our Steam page and Discord channel for more updates in the future.
Yeah, Syndicate.
To prepare yourself for cyberpunk carnage and sandbox
Glitchpunk.
action across
Let me write
multiple
that down.
cities, you can wishlist Glitchpunk on Steam right now.
You control 4 cyborgs which you can equip with different weapons and upgrade their implants between missions, and then you get different missions that take you to different cities around the world. And basically you're playing as a crime syndicate, and the idea is to take over the world. But it is very old now. You might want to add another decade onto that, which is making me feel old. I believe it was 92, 93. It's quite interesting as well. They did Syndicate Wars in the late 90s as well. I think that was 96. Was it 97? Yeah. I did like the distractible buildings in Syndicate Wars, but there's something special about the original game that was kind of missing from the sequel. I never finished either game though, because they were so hard. I really like the art style for this game. Life of Delta. I'm going to write that down as well.
That beautiful sci-fi adventure is coming to PC and consoles early next year. Okay, you're going to need a co-partner you can rely on in our next game, as two racers are connected by Elastic. That's right, Elastic.
I was pleased when I got Syndicate running on my phone, although it's too small to do much with it. That's a good way to play Warhammer, because obviously it's quite difficult to meet up with people to play tabletop games at the moment. Okay, I'm not sure this game's going to be for me, but let's see what happens. But yeah, this game's not really for me, but I'm not going to complain about that, because obviously people do enjoy it. And that's perfectly fine.
Serious biz now. Alright? I'm a serious bumblebee here, yo. I don't know about you. Okay. There we go. Yeah! It's bee time!
Gavin, you're quite... Gavin, you're quite brave to be willing to take on Thrawn at a strategy game.
Next up, I want you to imagine a strategy game designed by medieval monks. Yeah, medieval monks. I bet you weren't expecting to hear those words in today's show. This game is one of a kind. Let's take a look.
Emergence of medieval books, a testimony to
I'm
how
kind of
we misunderstood the Middle Ages.
intrigued.
Pourquoi les escargots combattent les chevaliers?
Why do rabbits have swords and fight against dogs?
The thing is, these illuminations are not decorations.
Ce sont des vestiges d'un ancien rituel, le rituel que nous ne connaissons pas, qui existait à l'époque.
I'm trying to figure out what to say about this. It's kind of a very strange idea, but I'm also really intrigued to try it. I'll write that one down as well.
The battle commenced. Inkulinati hits PC later in 2021, so make sure to get it wishlisted on Steam. We revealed the first details of Lord of the Rings Gollum at the Future Games show last August.
There we go.
Today, we're excited to take our
Gollum.
very first look at gameplay from Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Berserker of Thorn, I think this is a game that's going to get your attention, so I'll be quiet for it. Okay, that was
that wraps up our pre-show.
quite intrigued by that. What games do I play?
I hope you've enjoyed these sneak peeks and reveals.
Let's see what I've been playing recently. Cyberpunk, I've nearly finished that. Every time I'm on the last mission, every time I try and sit down to play it, I keep getting distracted. You know, get something delivered, phone calls or whatever.
For the Future Game Show. Take it away.
Been playing a bit of Squadrons, so not for a while. Stellaris, I do play that. I've been playing that again recently. Quite enjoying the current game I've got that going. I used to play a lot of the Star Wars games, but the ones I enjoyed most are very old now, and I've
welcome to the Future Game Show. I'm Nicole Tompkins.
Played them a lot, and
Jill Valentine in Resident Evil 3. And today we have an absolute monster of a show for
what games do you play?
If you've learned anything about monsters,
and I guess is the the stream.
with a partner. So please join me in welcoming my co-host, Jeff Shine.
Hey Nicole, and hey everybody at home watching. My name is Jeff Shine, but you might recognize me as Carlos Oliveira from Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, Resident Evil voice actors.
Back together.
We do make a good team. Though, I mean, hopefully today's a little bit more even-handed, because I tend to do most of the heavy lifting, fighting Nemesis like 16 times, getting Subway back on.
I hate to butt into the main show, but
I
think I had it pretty tough in Resident Evil 2.
I did really enjoy Fallen Order. I don't know if we'll see more of this. It'd be nice to know more about 2.
Over the course of the next hour or so, we'll be showing you guys gameplay.
I had fun with Battlefront 2, but it's not my favourite kind of game.
With some exclusive trailers and developer interviews.
I did really enjoy Squadrons, but it felt like there wasn't a lot of content in there. It's a small-scale game, and that's fine. Hopefully, they'll do a sequel in time for the Rogue Squadron movie, which will have a lot more to it. It's the most obvious tie-in they can do. Alright, so what's this game?
So, any word on Guy? Or his supposed crash?
Don't. Please. Nobody's ruled it a crash anyway. They said it just vanished.
I don't know, sis. Once is bad luck. Twice. Well...
This just reminded me of The Long Dark.
Always watching him. It's enough to drive anyone nuts.
Yeah, well, short drive at least. Anyway, the whole thing smells off to me. Like a setup.
I guess the defenders had to be balanced, which made them not as powerful as they should be. Though I did some tweaks to make them a lot faster and more maneuverable.
Well, at least he's not alone this time.
With some of the upgrades, of course you lose your hull strength, but
So much already.
it was worth it.
Maybe they're better off without him.
I'd really like to see a new Star Wars strategy game. I don't think EA will do that unless they do it in the style of Command & Conquer, which I'd be okay with. But I'd like to see more of a grand strategy game. Arctic Awakening. What reminds me of The Long Dark. There we go. That's true.
Hi, I'm James Simpson, director at Goldfire Studios, and we're working on a game called
Um,
Arctic Awakening.
The Lore does favour the Empire a lot, which makes good storytelling, but probably not good multiplayer gaming. You need both sides to be
Their story is one of survival,
balanced,
friendship,
even if not equal.
self-discovery,
They need to be
and
balanced.
mysteries they encounter along the way.
Otherwise, it's just not fun for one side. So I get that they make changes like that, but
An
yeah.
ex-Navy pilot who has retreated into isolation after recent traumatic events upend his life. He now finds himself in unknown territory with a missing co-pilot and only an AI.
I have played Empire at War. I haven't played it recently, though. Grand Admiral Thrawn here has kind of convinced me to give it a try on Monday night stream with the Thrawn's Revenge mod, which I need to download that and get ready for it.
Part of Alfie's job is never letting Kai out of his sight, and this tends to get under Kai's skin. Much of Arctic Awakening revolves around exploring the beautiful open world and uncovering the mysteries that lie within. However, the choices you make or don't make through your actions and fully voiced conversations directly impact how Kai's relationship
I thought it would.
with the other characters.
I was going to do Rebellion, but there's some graphical glitches with that, which make it the battles less fun. The battles weren't that much fun anyway, but still.
In 2022. Thanks for watching. Be sure to wishlist on Steam and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks again to James for that exclusive first look at Arctic Awakening. Okay, Jeff, imagine being stuck in the same place in an endlessly looping cycle.
Oh, Nicole,
Oh,
that
this
is my entire 20
game.
Well, then you're gonna love our next game, as it's all about breaking free. Let's take a look at Returnal.
I have The Force Unleashed 2, but I have it on my old Xbox, which is not in any way connected to.
Hello, my name is Mikael Havari, and I am the biz dev and marketing.
I couldn't really stream it, so.
Currently, we're working on Returnal. Returnal, in a nutshell, is a fast-paced sci-fi shooter with roguelike elements, and as a new addition to Housemarque, we're adding a layer of narrative storytelling.
See, we could do a campaign, but then if I'm streaming, you can watch the stream and see what I'm doing. It'd be like having your own Delta source.
Astro Scout that crash lands on a planet called Atropos. On this planet, she quickly realizes that she's stuck in a never-ending nightmarish loop that always upon her death.
Because I thought about
up in the same place. The world has changed.
Trying to do multiplayer game streaming, but there's always that.
Are different. At the focus of the game,
Yeah.
we have a very tight
Also, I don't know the Thrawn
gameplay loop where you
Thrawn's Revenge mod that well,
dash,
so.
jump around, shoot at enemies with lots of tentacles coming at you. There are also a lot of bullet hell elements, so fast-paced maneuvering, dodging, and
When I'm
running and gunning.
I think I need to learn the
game.
Thrawn's Revenge mod,
But there are
and then
also
we'll see
lots
how I
of
feel
good
about doing a
storytelling
multiplayer campaign.
layers that Celine finds out about in a non-linear fashion. So as you
Yeah, it's
make your
reminding
way
me of
through
that
Atropos,
first planet
you find
in
out who your
Mass
main
Effect
character
Andromeda.
is, what is the sort of deepest secret that she's trying to answer, and also how this planet ties into the whole bigger picture, and who are actually the inhabitants of this mysterious planet.
Moff Gideon,
Overall,
I would really
we're
like to see that.
looking forward to bringing
Another
you a very exciting
Star Wars
and
strategy
frenetic,
game.
Shooter experience, and Returnal will be hitting PlayStation 5s on April the 30th this year. So looking forward to having the game.
When
out
I've got
there.
to 1,000 hours of
Enjoy.
Thrawn's Revenge as well, we can be evenly matched.
Exactly as I left it.
I don't think EA will do a Star Wars strategy game, although last year they re-released, well, they released the Command & Conquer remaster, and that
Thanks to
was
Housemarque for
very
taking
well
us to the game.
received and very well
Returnal is
done.
coming exclusively PlayStation 5.
which hopefully convinced them to think, well, actually, we can do some strategy games. So maybe we can combine that with Star Wars. But if they do, I think it would be a very much in the style of Command & Conquer. So you won't have the grand strategy campaign element, it'll just be the battles. But if they did it well, I'd be okay with that. I kind of hope that Paradox get the license, because there's no publisher has an exclusive license agreement for Star Wars games anymore. So if Paradox had it, then it'd be interesting to see what they did with the license.
I am Wilhelm the Wise. You, it seems, are a time mage. As am I. While my powers have led to my youthful appearance.
That's my hope. It's not. I have no information. So the other game that I really enjoyed last year was Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. It's a tactical space combat game set in the Battlestar universe on the reboot. And I played it and I really enjoyed it. I thought a Star Wars game like this would be really good, because it's just very tactical space combat. There's no construction in the battles. You just control the ships and the fighters. I hope the release date for that game is going to be revealed, but that's one of the reasons why I'm watching this, is to find out.
You have a talking frog, and you didn't mention it? A talking frog is like in my top 5 animals I want to meet.
Hey, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Battlestar. So the idea with Battlestar Galactica Deadlock is the battles play out, time freezes, and you make your decisions, you issue orders to your ships, and then you get this, it kind of, when both players submit their choices, or the player and the AI finish, you get sort of the 10 seconds play out where those orders are carried out, and then the game pauses again and you do the same thing. And you kind of, it's half turn-based, half real-time, because you see the actions play out in real time, but the game pauses. And it's a lot of fun, very tactical, and it would be really good to see a Star Wars game like that. And they do there's a campaign which plays out a bit like XCOM. So in between battles you have to manage your fleets and upgrade them and so on. Choose which the next battle is going to be. And then there's another campaign mode where you're just trying to get your fleet home. So you choose your starting ships and then try and have to survive 10 missions to get back. And that is very hard. But it'd be nice to see a Star Wars game like that. I think it would lend itself really well.
When I crafted the story, I made sure to think deeply about the entire universe of Axiom Verge.
I felt like it captured the atmosphere of Battlestar Galactica really well. So if those guys, I can't remember the name of the company now, but if they got the Star Wars license, I think they would do a really good job with it as well.
The next chapter is ready to be revealed.
And also another fun thing about it is when you finish a battle, at the end you get this option to play it back as a movie, and it will put together it'll give you different camera angles, and so you can just watch it. It's like watching a space battle in the show. So I can highly recommend it.
Hiding in Antarctica is what appears to be an ancient,
if you like the show,
complete with mountains, lakes, deserts, and the ruins of a civilization. But you get the feeling that something else is lurking just past the fringes of reality.
And it'll probably make you wish there was a Star Wars game like it too.
1 and 2 flesh out different parts of the same overall universe. Their mechanics are quite different.
I'd recommend it to anyone who likes Battlestar Galactica and strategy games.
And fans of the first game will definitely feel right
tactical games.
But make no mistake, this isn't just an iteration of the gameplay you saw in the first game. It is a complementary piece of the overall puzzle that is Axiom Verge.
Battlefleet Gothic games. I'll have to look this up.
It would be customary in a
They're
commentary to
Warhammer, aren't they?
Detail about all the new and different mechanics.
A bit like Homeworld.
Introduce new enemy types, bosses, and weapons. but I'm really hoping to avoid spoilers here. Even mentioning that there are spoilers
Andy,
is
thank you.
itself a spoiler. But one
Nothing
thing
Heir
worth
to the Empire
mentioning
tonight.
is
We're
that
just
there are tons of hidden areas
discussing
throughout
video
the world,
games, but
and
thank you so
mysteries to
much.
find. So if you really like the feeling of figuring out deeply hidden
Yeah, there's a new
secrets, I think you'll love
Galactica
that
series. I don't know anything about it really.
Sure to keep an eye out for
So
Axiom
they're being very
2
secretive about
when
it.
launches on
So
the
some
Game
say that
Store
it's
and
going to
Nintendo
be
Switch this spring.
related to the
Thanks again to Tom for
show,
that guided tour.
the
Axiom
reboot
Verge
show
2
from
is due out on PC and Switch later in 2020.
that we know, and then others saying it's not.
This
So I
next
don't know.
game is what I'm all about. 60 ninjas enter. Only one ninja leaves.
Are you going to be that one ninja?
If I study this exclusive gameplay, anything's possible. Behold, Naraka Blade Point.
So I don't know much about Warhammer lore, so I'm not that familiar with it. A Viper flight sim would be fun. There was one, it was more of an arcadey kind of game. It was released way back when the miniseries was released, I believe. But it was released on consoles rather than PC, which meant that the controls were very awkward. That's good. That the lore's not important. I haven't played any of the games either. Once I got into the tabletop games, I was more about the Star Wars ones. Started with the tabletop, the Star Wars miniatures game from Wizards of the Coast, and got quite a substantial collection of those miniatures, and the Space Battle one as well. And then of course X-Wing and Armada, Imperial Assault, and I've got a couple of Legion figures, although I haven't actually played the game. Daka Squadron, is that a tabletop game or is it a video game? Yeah, there's a Rebellion board game, but I have not played it and I don't own it. One of the things I did during the pandemic was to start painting all the fighter squadrons for Armada, which they're tiny, so I did come to regret that decision after a while. Well, I could see myself doing that with the Rebellion pieces if I'd bought that game as well, and also regretting doing it. When you're on your 10th TIE fighter that's the size of a small fingernail, you kind of regret your life choices.
Naraka Blade Point is developed by 24 Entertainment and is due to grapple
Okay, a video
hook on
game.
PC
I'll have to
this
look at.
coming summer.
I'm gonna write that down
Next up
on my
is
list of games to check out.
action adventure that took Kickstarter by storm back in 2019. And once you've seen it in action, you'll understand.
Let's see, what was it?
Here's Weston Tracy
Daka
with an exclusive new look at Savior.
Squadron.
Hi, I'm Weston, the director of the upcoming action adventure game.
Yeah, I'll look it up after the stream.
Savior, you
I've,
play as Sam,
I've got
a stranger with no
a
possessions.
document here where I'm writing down
As you explore, you'll
the titles of games that catch my interest on the stream, but I've written Daka Squadron on it as well, so I'll check it out afterwards. Floopy, welcome.
build the broken world of Arcadia. At its core, there are three things that make Savior special. First is the combat system. It was inspired
Yeah,
by
I
playing years of
decided to stream watching the Future Games show, because there should be at least one Star Wars game.
which adds realistic strategy.
And I thought it'd be interesting to chat to you guys as we're watching it.
They all telegraph their strikes, so you'll learn their attack patterns and surely best them over time. The early enemies
I've got
don't block
an
so
old
well,
copy of Force
so you
Commander.
kind of button mash your way through. But as you progress,
That was
you watch for telegraphs and time your dodges block.
I think I enjoyed it more than some people did.
Things get dicier when two opponents attack at once.
But,
They'll always try to surround you, and it's best not to let them.
Of the 4 Star Wars strategy games that they released
Sam
way
runs
back,
and
I think
jumps
it's probably the
many
weakest
other
one.
2D action game characters,
Did like the
but it does
soundtrack
much
though.
more. With our addition of parkour, especially
Flippy, we're just watching the
she bounds through the terrain.
Future Games show where they're discussing
Satisfying fluidity. The dozens of animations and
upcoming video games.
make movement a standout
The Lego Skywalker Saga should be present here,
Arcadia is a land
or at least we hope it is. And maybe EA are going to be showing things off, so hopefully they'll be showing some Star Wars content.
which dictates all areas of Arcadian life, especially the punishment for doubt or challenge. Any who oppose the creed
I'm
are
quite
banished,
liking the
dropped
art style for this game. It's got that old point and click video game, point and click game style, art style,
They explored their
which
underground home,
I enjoyed all of those games.
but the chosen and the fallen have been divided too long. It's up to you to reunite them.
So I've written Savior down on my list
All
as
of
well.
us at Starsoft are working tirelessly to bring Savior to Steam and Nintendo Switch in winter of 2022. We hope you'll add Savior to your wish list on Steam, sign up for our newsletter, or follow us on social media to stay up to date on our progress.
Savior is coming to PC and Switch in winter 2022.
Hmm.
Our next game opened the very first Future Game Show and had us itching to see more ever since. Please welcome Team Kill Media with a new slice of action from their console horror shooter, Quantum Error.
Interesting. I did remember playing the Phantom Menace game as well. So when Phantom Menace was released, I'm talking about the film now, there was a 2-month delay between the US and the UK. So I had to spend 2 months avoiding all the spoilers. But the video game was released here at the same time as it was in the US around the time that the movie was released. So I could play the game 2 months before I could see the film that it's based on. I'm not sure if Ubisoft are going to be revealing anything here. I didn't see the name of... On the list of publishers that are going to be present, I didn't see them on it, but then the list was kind of vague. And I didn't want to miss anything because I was looking after I started the stream. Kind of intrigued by this. I managed to avoid spoilers for 2 months for that film, and then the night before, finally got to see it. One of my friends in America was chatting to me, and he said something about Qui-Gon dying, because he hadn't realised I hadn't seen it yet. And it's the night before. Unreal is a very powerful engine. But yeah, I was not happy about that spoiler. Because it's just because he hadn't realised it wasn't. That's kind of creepy. Yeah, he hadn't realised that the film hadn't been released for 2 months here. Huh. I don't know. I don't know too many firefighters that wear spacesuits. Okay, I don't know too many firefighters, but I've seen pictures I don't remember seeing them wearing those. I don't know.
That was just 4 minutes of the terrifying Quantum Error, which is coming to PS5, PS4, and Xbox Series X and S. To see the extended cut of this demo, check out Games
I think it was
Radar.
2 months. It was definitely
The next exclusive
more than
trailer
one.
is unlike
It was a long
anything
time,
you've seen before.
and
It's
it
a playable
was
meta
annoying.
album where the action brings the lyrics to life.
I'm glad with
Here's
every
the
other
newest
Star
trailer
Wars
for
film
Of
since
Bird
then,
and Cage.
they've had worldwide
Product not
releases.
yet rated.
Made it a lot easier to avoid spoilers. He does. I don't know. I guess I have to look up, see what else we can find. This is definitely a different take on Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, people weren't using the internet so much in '99, but in 2002 they were. Bird and Cage.
We
Okay.
can exclusively announce that Of Bird and Cage launches for PC on May 20th, and PS4, Xbox One, and Switch later this year. You can wishlist the game right now on Steam. Our next game is all about the power of cooperation.
Like when I fight Nemesis and you shout advice from a safe distance?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much exactly like that. Here's Joseph Fares to tell us how you'll be teaming up in the new adventure game from EA Originals, It Takes Two.
Are you ready for the roller coaster ride of your life? No.
My name is Joseph Fares, and I'm the founder, and writer, director at Hazelight Studios. And Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, A Way Out, and now the new game coming out March 26th, It Takes Two.
I think I remember seeing this at E3 last year.
Actually, what we do at Hazelight is actually quite unique. What I mean by that is that we're creating co-op experiences that are written and designed from the beginning, from the start, like that. You do have co-op games out there, but none that are created like this in a narrative way. These are not drop in, drop out, which means that we can create unique experiences and unique stories.
I just realised, Andy, I need to say thank you so much for that super chat.
In this game, I would say, that's almost have a physical connection.
Do apologise for being slow on that.
It's also something I think is underestimated what you can do creatively.
I do appreciate it.
How comes you get all the cool gadgets?
Because I'm cooler than you, Cody.
Sometimes the connection could be metaphoric connection, like we have a section where you're playing as a piece of magnet. That's a metaphor for attraction. So whatever happens in the story will be reflected in the gameplay. Even an example like this, in this case they are in a tree, and the male character, the clay character Cody, he forgot to clean the hive, so in real life obviously. So right now the squirrels that live in that tree are in war with the wasps, and you actually use the squirrels' high-tech weapons to take out the wasps. So and as you see, May can shoot matches and he can shoot sap, and when you combine those you create an explosion. So again, it's
this is a very unusual looking game
that kind of connects to the story. That's why I keep saying whatever you meet in the story, whatever happens, you'll be playing it. This is just some
the
example.
dial-up modems, that's a sound I haven't heard for a long time.
For this level, and,
does bring back memories.
Doing different things for every level you play, and whatever happens in the story, you will be playing it. If you buy the game and you play it in a couch and you play with a friend for free, then it should be the same for you if you play it online. It wouldn't be fair just because your friend can play with you in the couch, this person have to pay double the price. You know what I mean? From that perspective, Friends Pass came up because it makes sense. It's a logical decision.
Yeah, you feeling that? He says, you like? What is wrong with that guy?
It's gonna be such a wild ride to play this game. It's gonna be such a unique experience from the beginning to the end, and it's gonna be a joy and adventure. I can't wait to look at some reactions when the players stream this and play this, because I know there will be definitely some really cool reactions, especially on some scenes, and especially one scene that I think is gonna be quite special.
You feel it?
Alright, so the game is coming out on March 26th. It will be on, let's see now, PS4, PS5, Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox X, Series X, and I don't know. But not Switch for now. We don't have any plan for it now. Who knows in the future, maybe. But other than that, all future console and next gen.
You'll be able to take advantage of Friends Pass when it
they
takes
can't play with you on the
launches
couch
for
because
PS4,
COVID
PS5,
restrictions mean
Xbox One, Xbox Series X and
no
S, and
meeting up
PC tomorrow
socially.
on March 26th.
It's a short release date.
Our next game is like Cyberpunk meets Sherlock Holmes as you crack cases in virtual worlds. Are you ready to play Digital Detective in Game Deck?
World premiere.
It's a
Interesting.
strange profession. Game deck. You're neither a player nor a detective. You know the rules and how people break them. How they leave a digital trail. And there is always a trail. A flaw in the source code. Backdoors used by cheaters.
Quite intrigued by the look of this game.
Anonymity skins. Used to cover up unpopular activities. All can be found. All can be traced.
I don't know if you can trust anything that happens on April 1st.
A lot of skill. And a little bit of luck. Sometimes more than a little. Because there are surprises, even for a game deck. But in the end, you keep your eyes on the prize.
Well, Sherlock Holmes was part of the inspiration for Tron. Timothy Zahn is a fan of Sherlock Holmes Game deck. That's quite interesting, so I might write that one down. There's a demo tomorrow. I'll look out for that.
Game Deck is coming to PCs.
Are you sure you got hired on April 1st?
And you can wishlist it on Steam right now.
Nicole, question. Do you think you got what it takes to be a firefighter?
Yes.
Here we go, this is a firefighting game.
Skills out in a game before trying
By the sound of things.
Also yes.
Well then let me introduce you
A little bit less horrifying than that other one that
Are you ready
a few
to
minutes
join
ago.
the gig economy? Become your own boss. As a firefighter, food delivery person, or a courier, Ember hits consoles with cross-play functionality for up to 4 players.
That would be nice.
Rescue together.
Sorry, that flying person.
Escape together.
This is actually quite entertaining me, so I think I might have to write this one down. I don't think I got the skill to make a video game. I can do the animation, but I can't do the programming.
Salvage together. Risking your life for money has never been more rewarding. Ember, launching summer 2021.
Ember.
Ember is out now on PC and Stadia and is coming to consoles later this year.
Our next game takes one of the best detective adventures of recent years and makes it prettier and puzzlier, yes, that's a word, than ever before. This is Kathy Rain, the director's cut.
Hi, I'm Ariel Siegel, and I am delighted to be here at the Future Game Show to talk to you about Kathy Rain, Director's Cut.
Okay, after 6 years, I think it's safe to say it wasn't an April Fool's joke.
First, I play Kathy in it, but also because the Director's Cut is an even better version of the original game that launched in 2016. For those of you who have been missing out, let me fill you in on the details. So, Kathy Rain is a point-and-click adventure set in the 1990s. It's the story of a strong-willed journalism major, that's me, who is forced to confront her troubled past as she investigates the mysterious death of her recently departed grandfather. Armed with her motorcycle, a pack of cigs, and
I have no
notepad,
idea when the
Kathy
big games will be
delves into
shown.
local mysteries surrounding her
We do
hometown
seem to be getting a focus on the smaller scale stuff, but there's some big publishers involved, so
The Director's Cut features an
I
extended
do not
story
know.
with more puzzles to solve and new areas to explore.
We haven't had the Star
There's
Wars
also an
game,
expanded
Lego
and
game yet.
remixed soundtrack, cool new bike designs to unlock, controller
Warner
support,
Brothers
and
games
more.
are supposed they are on the list, and they've got 2 games coming up. They've got the Star Wars Lego game and a Batman game, the name of which I forget at the moment. That neither of those have shown up yet, so
I, for one, love being a part of this
I guess we have to wait and see.
and I can't wait
We've
for
still
you
got
all to
another
get on the Catmobile when we launch this fall
hour and a
on
half.
Steam for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Thanks to Ariel for showing us Kathy Rain, the director's cut.
There's a few games that caught my eye.
Now it's time for a sneak peek at what's in store from our pals.
I'm hoping we see more Mass Effect
Oh, how many hours have we spent playing
Legendary Edition.
I once fought giant mutant worms in a sewer.
It's a very different vibe, Nicole. It's a very different vibe.
There's the expansion for Stellaris. I don't know if that's going to be here. But, it's called Nemesis, and I'm looking forward to that, which is out next month. I played... Yeah, I did play that. Wasn't it the Complete Saga? It really is. I'm looking forward to Nemesis. I don't think Paradox are on this stream tonight, but if they are, it'd be a nice surprise. But I'm gonna get Nemesis anyway, so I wasn't sure how I felt. I played the first one, which is based on the prequels. It's released around the time of Revenge of the Sith, and that was a lot of fun. It's surprising. So Lego's normally about building things, so it's surprising how much the Lego games are all about smashing things up. So I played the original one, and then they did a sequel based on the original trilogy, which I played. And then there's a complete saga, which they released on the Wii, and I think other consoles as well. I got the Wii one because I was hoping for some lightsaber controls, but it wasn't that good at it. I never tried. They did a Clone Wars Lego game as well, which I never got around to playing. Didn't really feel like that one grabbed me as much. But I'm excited for this new one. Because it's not just a remake or a remaster of the old games. I think they've basically done everything again from scratch. So it should be quite interesting. And a very different playstyle, I believe.
I'm interrupting this broadcast to invite you all to submit to me. Submit your application to become my new co-architect.
Thomas, yeah, I can understand that. Generally, I prefer realistic-looking games. But I made an exception for that one because it was Star Wars.
We're not a dangerous organization. In fact, we're all about the safe sex.
They definitely don't, yeah, as Floopy said, they're not a serious take on Star Wars. They do kind of poke fun at it a little bit.
That was a collection of games coming from Team 17 over the coming weeks and months. For more info on them, check out GamesRadar.com.
15 games in, and we finally get to fight some zombies.
15 games in, so we've still got
Some co-op play, Jeff?
25 to go.
Working a little faster than what I'm used
We said 40 plus, so
Lucky for me, I've got developers Turtle Rock to show us the game instead.
hopefully we'll get some other bigger games. Falling is Back for Blood. Okay, this is the Left 4 Dead spiritual successor.
Getting out of here is the key to my happiness.
Everyone ready? Follow my lead if you can keep up.
Just try not to do anything
Lego
stupid.
EU version would have been really nice. Happy we haven't seen any yet.
I'm the executive producer at Turtle Rock Studios. Right now we're working on Back 4 Blood, which is a first-person co-op zombie shooter that takes place after a catastrophic outbreak where most people have either died or have been infected by what we're calling the Devil Worm. In this game, you're part of a group of veterans that we refer to as the Cleaners, who are ready to take the fight back to the zombies, which we call the Ridden.
Well, Battlefront 2, the original one, you can get from, it's on Steam and GOG.com, so you don't need to worry about your disc. I imagine around the 4th of May there'll be a sale, a Star Wars video game, so you can probably get it for pretty much nothing.
And as you watch the footage, you're going to see that we have a lot of different kinds of Ridden. We've got some base special Ridden like the Tall Boy and the Stinger, and then there are also mutated versions of them as well. But we've got something that's especially special for us that we're very much into and very excited about, and we feel that this is bringing something new to the genre. We have our Ogre. He is this massive mutated Ridden that rises from the ground, and in that moment you have to decide if you're going to face off against this tanky character or run away and face him when you're better equipped.
This is obviously quite a graphic game, so I do apologise if anyone isn't a fan of gore. There's not much I can do to stop that.
Is it just me or are these things getting bigger?
We've got the elements
I
that you
wouldn't
want
mind
out
seeing
a cooperative zombie shooter, so you
Star Wars Flight Simulator in the style of Elite Dangerous.
We're also adding some roguelike
maybe not necessarily the online part, but the idea you get a basic ship and you can fly anywhere, and the idea is to make credits to earn money.
About our game director as well as our card system. You're going to be familiar with how we start off this game. You're going to start in a safe room with 3 of your friends, and the game director is going to play what we call corruption cards. You get to know what kind of challenges he's going to
This is Left 4 Dead as a spiritual successor, because they didn't have the license for it, where you get 4 players playing co-op and you have to survive against hordes of zombies. I think this is the same developers who left, because Left 4 Dead was by Valve and they did the sequel, and but of course it's Valve, so they can't count to 3. Obviously the devs wanted to make a 3rd game, so they went off and created their own company to do it.
We're really excited to see what you and your friends do with your cards.
Gotta be something around here. There you are.
Back 4 Blood is coming to Xbox
Star Wars: The
Series
Smuggler.
S, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, and PC. You're going to be able to play the game in the upcoming open beta on both PC and console. We're going to have more information on that soon, so stay tuned.
I've played so many hours of Left 4 Dead with friends online.
Turtle Rock for showing us how real zombie killers do it.
It was a really good.
How it would feel to be a Warhammer miniature? Here's the
Well, here we go.
world
It's a Warhammer game, which I'm sure
cinematic
will.
trailer for Warhammer.
I'm going to be quiet for this one because I know a lot of you guys will want to pay attention to this one.
World premiere.
Once mortal, we stood against enemies of order. Our souls, freed from the weakness of flesh, arrived at the gates of heavens, shaped by righteousness, reforged in thunder, clad in living armor. We come down among lightning to protect the mortal realms once more. We are Sigmar's wrath manifest. In his name, we wage war! We are the Stormcast Eternals.
You can step into the shoes of a Lord Arcanum when Tempestfall launches on Oculus and Steam this summer.
Well, I'm not familiar at all with Warhammer, but I hope that catches your eye. I hope you're excited for it.
Well, this next bit is a little bit like that, except instead of zombies, I'm gonna throw loads of games at you.
Oh, that actually sounds way better.
Okay. Well, there's that rumour going around. I don't really pay much attention to it because it is just a rumour that the original Knights of the Old Republic is going to get a remaster. I'm not entirely convinced that's true. But if it is true, that'd be a nice surprise. I'd definitely play it again. It did look like a VR game. I guess this is one way to get through the 40 games list quite quickly. I hope if they do a remaster of Knights of the Republic, it's not VR exclusive, because I don't have a VR helmet. I don't really want to buy one just for one game, no matter how much I like the game.
more information on all those great games, make sure to check out GamesRadar.com.
Now, if you're looking for something more melodic than the sound of Jeff's voice, you should check out our next game, The Longest Road on Earth. Bonus fact, this trailer contains an exclusive performance of one of the tracks in the game. Enjoy.
I've been looking for a while, there's 100 miles left to go. 100 miles left to go. On the way, gotta try. Dream what baby feels alright. Feels right. I've been walking for a while, there's 100 miles left to go. 100 miles left to go.
Yeah. I never thought to make a real Berserk deck. That's a good idea.
There's 100 miles left to go. 100 miles left to go.
Floopy, there's another hour and 10 minutes of this game show to go. We're not even halfway through it yet. Yeah, it's not a 1 hour event, it's a 2 hour event. I mean, it is possible we don't see new Star Wars, but I'd say that's unlikely.
Our next game is an open-world survival simulator that put PC gamers through hell. Specifically, Green Hell. Here's an exciting new announcement from the team at Creepy Jar.
I'm going to stay on it for the whole stream. And I normally that my Monday night streams are usually at just an hour or so. But, this is a bit earlier in the day.
Can you survive Green Hell? Find out when it comes to consoles in June.
It does look like Ark. I believe they're doing an Ark 2 and Vin Diesel in it.
And tasks 2 cooperative spies to break into top secret locations.
Well, then it's a good thing I've partnered with Jill Valentine, huh? Master of unlocking.
Here's the latest news for Operation Tango.
Interesting.
Well, we got to work together.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh dear, this is a recipe for disaster.
What did you do?
I'm gonna do it. You ready?
I'm nervous.
I'm in.
I'm very stealthy, thank you very much.
So, I'm gonna need you to suck it up, Buttercup, and put that passcode in.
Definitely beats watching the news.
Your infiltration begins on consoles and PC on June 1st.
Coming up next, we take a trip into
It's a lot more fun talking to you than it is to watch the news.
Soulstorm, as series creator Lorne Lanning shows us what's in store in Abe's latest adventure.
Flippy, thank you for coming. Hopefully that there's some Star Wars news later on, which you can either catch up with on the stream, or I'm sure it will be on the gaming news sites. And if it's a Lego game, it will be on the Lego news sites as well.
We're on a mission to hijack a train that we're told is at Fett Station.
Otherwise, if you can't come back later, see you on Monday.
Happening in the background, and now we settle down to where Abe just entered into the scene. And now he needs to get to the Fett Station to hijack a train, and that should be up ahead. And now he's got a little bit of a journey through the world to get there. Okay, so now you're approaching, you see a train in the distance pulling in, and now you're approaching the Fett Station. So now you knew you had to reach the Fett Station, there's a train, and you know you gotta hijack a train, but you're gonna have to get through the Fett Station first. And this is a lot of where we wanted more of the story telling us through the 2.9.
I'm just checking something, hold on. It won't interfere with the stream.
Feels more cinematic. And here you can get an overlook, and if we look in there, this is the tanks and the whole area we're going to have to get through.
Huh.
And now you're dealing with snipers. You're running across steam vents.
I never got into any of the Abe's games. I've heard good things about them, but I never actually played any of them.
We wanted to get more of that sense of height, perspective, and all that. And it also reveals secret areas that you wouldn't normally see, where you can go collect goods and stuff. But we're not going to go there right now because we're just going to continue on and start going into the tank field because we still got to get to the pump so we can get to the train so we can complete our mission and then catch up with our buddies.
I was surprised by that warning too.
Here's some classic Abe play where, you know, he's using steam zones to hide from the enemies, and they can't see. They're kind of blind in the steam zone. So, using the old Oddworld logic, if you can't see Abe barely, then neither can the enemy. And this was a way that you could have traversed to get past this slit. But if you crafted up some inventory to this point, this would have been a stealth approach with no...
Yeah, I can't say I've ever played any of them.
This would be a little more not nice approach, where you might have used something a little more lethal.
Character designs changed a little bit from what I remember.
That would be very nice. You don't
seeing when the game was...
but it's a different way to solve the same problem.
So I remember seeing it on the shelves, and I remember seeing it in Games Magazine, so I kind of vaguely remember what he looked like.
And along the way, we're hearing radio broadcasts that are filling us more in on the backstory, the propaganda of the world, what they're telling the common people versus what you know is actually happening in the game. So we play off of that during these elevator rides. And if you pay attention to them, we get a little more data on the backstory and what's happening in the world. We're getting now to the pump area. There's all these more physical challenges where there's Mudokons you're going to have to get in through the pump all the way up to the train way above. So now this is like a tower of hazards, and you're going to get more and more Mudokons to go through here.
I've not played Empire at War with anyone here in the chat, multiplayer, as far as I know. I only know you guys from... because you watch my videos, that I don't really know you elsewhere.
So it really helped with people understanding what the problem.
Sadly, you're a great group of people.
Cases like this, so you're getting more and more Mudokons following you through more and more dangerous conditions.
I haven't actually played Empire at War in years.
And they're stacking up more and more, and the more you get, the easier it is to get lots of them more killed, even though you shouldn't. Come on, go, 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 go. Okay. And killing them, of course, is not the best karma.
That looked painful. There was a games tournament I was part of many years ago.
Now,
and
that there with what, two? One? One survivor. He gets rescued. And from here, and look at all my dead guys, but from here, this gets us up to
the idea is just to play Star Wars games as a tournament, and I played Empire at War in that way. I used to play X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and X-Wing Alliance multiplayer in the tournament, but then no one... so basically what happened is I was playing against someone and he broke his joystick, because the game requires a joystick to fly, and after that no one wanted to play against me again, in case the same thing happened to them, so then I switched to Empire at War.
You can pre-purchase the game now on the Epic Game Store, and PlayStation 5 PS Plus members will be able
I became known as the Joystick Slayer for a little while. That was quite funny.
Oddworld Soulstorm is coming to PC, PS4, and PS5 on April 6th.
First revealed at the Future Game Show last June, Serial Cleaners builds on the hit crime scene clean 'em up with 4 distinct cleaners and 4 distinct styles. Let's see a messier approach in our first gameplay reveal.
Star Wars Tales at Lightspeed, still nothing Star Wars. No Lego, no anything else. Lots of seems to be mostly focused on indie games so far. But we're going to keep watching to the end. The Lego Star Wars game is supposed to be released soon, and the developer is meant to be part of this stream, and they're only working on 2 games. The Lego Star Wars game and the Batman game. The Batman game was delayed about 2 weeks ago, So I don't know if they'll be talking about that, but as far as I know, they're still meant to be part of this event, so it makes sense that they show the Star Wars game.
And your rubber gloves because serial cleaning
Unless they got something else they want to show off instead.
You can wishlist the game on Steam and Epic Store now.
But I'd be surprised if they didn't.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
Oh, Elite Dangerous.
And they hear you say, whoa. Which is exactly what you'll do when you see the amazing things Frontier is doing in Elite Dangerous.
I'm quite interested to see what this expansion is going to add.
Hello, I'm Gareth Hughes from Frontier Developments and I'm the lead designer on Elite Dangerous. Right now we're working on Elite Dangerous Odyssey, the most ambitious expansion for Elite Dangerous to date. For the first time in Elite's history, the Odyssey expansion will allow players to set foot on light atmospheric worlds powered by amazing new planetary technology. Players will be able to disembark from their ships and explore these planets, discovering new settlements and organic life forms while taking on missions and engaging in intense first-person combat. Today, we're really excited to share this exclusive footage of Apex Interstellar.
Welcome to Apex Interstellar, your gateway to the stars.
A shuttle service that will be available to all Odyssey players, allowing them to explore the galaxy in a totally new way. For a small fee, Apex Interstellar will let players book their own personal shuttle, complete with AI pilot, to take them between the ports and settlements in inhabited space.
Your shuttle is ready to depart. Thank you for choosing Apex Interstellar.
Players can even call the shuttle to pick them up directly from a planet's surface, just like you'd hail a cab. Additionally, we'd like to talk about how the release of Odyssey will give players the opportunity to experience the excitement, scale and beauty of Elite Dangerous from a brand new perspective. Odyssey's boots-on-the-ground gameplay will add on-foot exploration, salvaging, bounty hunting, heists and much more, all seamlessly integrated into the existing game. Elite Dangerous Odyssey is coming to PC in late spring 2021, with an alpha scheduled to begin a little earlier on the 29th of March. PlayStation and Xbox releases are planned for autumn 2021. Thank you for watching, please enjoy the rest of the show, and we look forward to seeing you in the game.
Of course. There are things wrong with Elite Dangerous, but there were a couple of things that it does get really right. It gives you a real sense of
the Elite Dangerous Odyssey
how
Alpha
big space
will be
is.
available on PC starting March 29th. Imagine what you could do with a machine that can read memories. That's the killer setup.
When you get to Galactic Map and you can see how many stars there are in the game, it gives you a real sense of scale. There was
Remember that time the bug
something that happened
We don't talk about it, Jeff.
a couple of years ago, or more than that now. So when the game was first released, there were some tie-in novels, and one of them had this throwaway line where the main character meets this old lady who says that she can't remember anything other than she once went to the Formidine Rift and she gave the main character some vague directions on how to get there. And it's the kind of thing that no one really took any notice of until the author of the book said there is actually something to find out there. So then there were some vague clues on what it could be, and so players then started searching for it, and it was quite far away from any of the inhabited systems, so it took ages to get there. When I got involved with it, it took me 2 days of game time just to fly to this part of the galaxy. It's about 8,000 light years away.
Don't Forget Me launches on PC later this year.
And at that point it took another year before the mystery was solved. I can't say I found anything significant, but it was just being part of it gave me a sense of exploration that no other game has ever. It's kind of exploration and detective work that no other video game has ever given me, because if you're playing a single player game, that's all scripted, so you're going to find it But because of the nature of that game, there's no one else who found it before me. No one else could say, here it is. There's no walkthroughs or anything. It was really down to player teamwork to try and figure out the clues and to find out what the ultimate mystery was. Well, eventually I upgraded my ship enough that I could do it in 8 hours. But still, that's a long time to be sat down just travelling around. And it's the
Great War didn't start
in the scale of the galaxy, that's actually still quite close to Earth. So if you wanted to travel to the other side of the galaxy, that is going to take weeks of actual game time just flying across. I know it's been done, and people have travelled all around the edge of the galaxy.
And how to choose between life and death, because
But yeah, the mystery was eventually solved.
counts.
Movie games.
But it felt good to be part of it.
Forward to hearing more on War Hospital and Fire Commander later this year.
Our next game debuted on Stadia and is finally coming to other platforms. To find out why Lost Words Beyond the Page is such a special world, let's join director
Yeah,
Mark
this is
Backler
definitely
and
quite a
writer
distance.
Brianna Pratchett.
Oh, game by Terry Pratchett's daughter.
Hi, I'm Mark Backler. I'm the founder of Sketchbook Games and the creative director of Lost Words Beyond the Page.
I'm Brianna Pratchett. I'm a writer for video games, film, TV and comics, and I wrote the script for Lost Words Beyond the Page, and I'm working on lots and lots of secret things.
At the moment, we're just putting the finishing touches to Lost Words for Steam, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
So you play the game as Izzy, who is about sort of 11 or 12-ish, and she's just been given a journal for her birthday. She's always wanted to be a writer, so she starts writing. She has to deal with some difficult news about her gran, who gave her the journal in the first place, and she decides to
I actually met Terry Pratchett once.
We see her
Very
going
eccentric
not
man.
just on a journey through the pages of her diary, but also through the fantasy world that she's been writing about.
The story starts to kind of reflect what's happening in the real world.
It really is.
Like the 7 stages of grief as
So he was doing a book signing near where I live many years ago.
And it's basically,
And
you know, fantasy is a lens through which we can examine the
my
real world. And this is a
girlfriend
very,
at the time, her brother
very visual
was really into. I didn't know he made mods. Okay, so my girlfriend at the time, her little brother was really into Terry Pratchett. So Terry was doing a book signing near me, and she asked me, because she couldn't do it herself, if I could get this book signed for her brother. So I did. I said, okay, I'll do that. Obviously, getting my girlfriend and all that. So went to the bookshop, got in line, and then I got to the front of the queue, and he looked at me. I was wearing this leather trench coat, and he looked at me and said, "So the Matrix has got a lot to answer for."
Thanks to Mark and Rihanna for that exclusive.
And
Lost Words comes to PC and consoles on April 6th.
it made me a little laugh, and I was chatting to him about some of the animated.
In space, no one can hear you scream, but neither.
Whoa, Nicole, we just.
Oh, space game. Hold on.
Oh, really? Our next world premiere is set in space, and it looks really spooky. So I thought.
Alright, so he I was talking to him about the animated Discworld stories because I really enjoyed them, and he said if I like those, to keep an eye out on what was coming next, and it was obviously the Sky live action adaptations, which I enjoyed all of those as well. I think Going Postal is my favourite.
In the second era of the human empire,
Sonic matter was discovered in the galaxy of Neteron. It was here that humans decided to build.
I can't remember the names of them. There's a couple of animated Discworld stories. They adapted some of the books.
But it wasn't long.
I don't remember which ones off the top of my head. If you look them up.
Not alone.
This looks interesting. He's a lot more eccentric than I am, even with my coat choice. I still got the coat somewhere, but I don't wear it anymore. Yeah, Gavin, sure thing.
That was our first look at Haunted Space, coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S sometime in the future.
Haunted Space, I'm going to write that down.
One Steam review describes our next game as Reservoir Dogs with more falling over.
Well, I guess I'd be Mr. Interested.
Okay. It's time for guns, cars, and double-crossing galore in Cryptic Sea's truly unique Sub Rosa.
Interesting. That's an old floppy disk. I haven't seen one of those for a long time.
Go time.
So the graphic style is very basic, but I'm still really intrigued. I might have to write down this one as well. Yeah, it does. It's got that similar kind of style to it. Sub Rosa. Okay.
We're pleased to confirm that Sub Rosa is available right now through Steam Early Access, so you can start building your criminal empire today.
Okay. I hope you have your hankies ready as we return to one of the most emotional game series of recent years. Please welcome Zach Garris, Chief Creative Officer of Deck 9 Games, to give us a new...
Yeah, I've written it down on my list.
They're definitely hiding something.
Alex, be careful. I am Zach Garris. I am the Chief Creative Officer at Deck 9 Games and the Game Director of Life is Strange True Colors. It's a brand new adventure in the Life is Strange universe. Coming off the heels of making Before the Storm, we wanted to explore who we are,
on there.
and what the franchise has to offer fans with new characters and a new setting. And we're really excited about it. Well, what do you think?
I love it.
So, in Life is Strange True Colors, you play as Alex Chen. Alex is a young woman who's just left the foster care system. She's had a very difficult childhood, but she's also now about to start something new. Be out on her own and reunite with her older brother. Alex is not like other people, though. Alex has a
Life is
supernatural
Strange.
sensitivity to the emotional
I never
states
played any of
of
these
others.
games in this series.
And it's not just the ability to read or be aware of other people's emotions. If people around her are feeling rage or grief or terror, the emotion overwhelms Alex and she feels it too. It gives her an empathic connection with that person. It gives her insight into what's motivating whatever that person might be going through. Up until this point in her life, this has been a curse. This has alienated her from others. This has led to behavior people around her.
I know a couple of people who really like these games, so I'm glad for them that they get a new one.
For Life
I
is
hope they
Strange
enjoy
Colors,
it.
we wanted to explore having more agency given to the player in terms of where they go, who they interact with, and the ownership that they can take over the story and over Alex's engagement with that town. And so we have built out a larger space than you typically see in a Life is Strange game.
Yeah, I can't say it appeals to me that
I think
much,
we're
but
very excited about
those who do enjoy it,
the outcome, the result.
I hope they do enjoy this one.
I'm Steph.
One of the most exciting components to Life is Strange True Colors is that Steph returns as a character. She was someone we discovered while making Before the Storm, a character that became a fan favorite. We wanted to really take that character and do much more with her. And partly it's a desire to continue to honor the depth and richness of the universe overall, that this is an interconnected place and that you're going to see from time to time characters from other adventures. I think part of what's really promising about the Life is Strange universe is its breadth, its depth, its potential, new stories, different walks of life. We're really shifting the franchise into more of an anthology.
Yeah, I can't say I'm going to get this one either,
So
but
rather than order
like I
the
said,
titles sequentially,
fans of the series, I
they're
hope
not
they enjoy
actually
it.
Sequels necessarily. It made more sense to name each game according to what that story is and how that story is sort of participating in that larger universe. True Colors just fits for what Alex Chen's story becomes.
I'm glad you two met.
There is a bigger name game than some of the other things we've seen.
When it comes
So
to
hopefully that's good news
Life
for
is
us,
Strange True
and they get
Colors
into some of the bigger games
offers players more choice than they've
that we're having
experienced in
for.
Life is Strange game to date. And we're proud of that. I think we're excited about the kinds of relationships that you can develop.
I suppose it
throughout the
makes
whole
sense to
town,
do
and
a lot of
in
indie games
particular, the
first,
relationships
because
that you can have with both Ryan and Steph,
if they do all the big
who are
titles
integral to the
first,
storyline
people will tune out, and then all the
in the
indie
shape
stuff
of
gets
how the player chooses to engage with them in that
ignored,
story
and
can
obviously
become,
that's not good for
sort of
those
a romantic
developers.
interest for Alex. Life is Strange True Colors will be available in September on current and next-gen consoles and PC.
Well, I'll be getting emotionally wrecked when Life is Strange True Colors launches in September for next-gen consoles and PC.
5 years ago, developers LKA wowed us with their psychological horror, The Town of Light. In 2021, they return with an all-new next-gen psychological thriller. Are you ready?
Right, so we're on to the next game now.
Will you tell me a bedtime story? Not tonight. There's a
Spooky already.
We should have been there. Not her.
I did not write down Dawn of War 2, but I will now. Oh, yep.
You have another Dr. The one who was living, remember? What do you say,
Slightly different tone from the last game. Right. Martha is dead. Well, that's not good for Batman and Superman. Why did you say that name?
Published by Wired Productions, comes to PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC in 2021.
Do you ever look at the state of modern civilization and think, God, I could do so much better than this?
Oh, I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen 2021?
Well, time to put your money where your mouth is in Amplitude Studios' historical strategy epic, Humankind.
I still haven't watched the Snyder Cut. It's 4 hours long. And I haven't got 4 hours to spare.
In Humankind, you have one main innovation, which is the ability to create your own civilization out of 60 different cultures.
The idea is that we give the player these historically accurate bricks, and they go and build whatever story they want to.
In history, we always had a group of people close to each other. With Diplomacy, we want to give you all these tools to be able to interact with these empires, to create a bond and a link, to create these alliances, or have to go to war.
What was really important for Diplomacy was
Oh, that's good to know. Can watch it as like episodes.
tell each other. If you look at, say, the First World War, what happened, it wasn't a direct...
I have seen the original,
A lot of people getting
and I remember being entertained, but I don't remember anything else about it. It's one of those, that was kind of fun, and never need to see it again, kind of films. But if I do watch the Snyder Cut, I still won't remember what happened. I won't be able to compare the two.
We want things to feel nicely immediate. We don't want to have sort of a round-robin vote of everyone deciding what to do. We want you to get feedback in action, so make things feel nicely quick, immediate, impactful. Your Civilization...
I think someone kind of said it's like a McDonald's of film. You might enjoy it, the experience as it happens, but then you don't really remember it afterwards. That's kind of how I feel about the original cut of Justice League.
When a civilization's choices create a situation that is deemed offensive or otherwise unacceptable by another,
I'm very intrigued by this game. I like the Civ games, so it was just interesting to see a different take on the concept.
Once two civilizations have...
So you have the original fresh in your mind.
They'll need to think about their...
I don't think I'd want to do that. Because then that's 6 hours of Justice League. Oh, speaking of 6 hours, apparently the Russo brothers made a joke about releasing a 6-hour cut of Avengers Endgame. And I'm assuming it was a joke and not something that they were actually considering.
So depending on these choices, I'll have an ideology that will be defined. And based on this proximity, it would be more or less difficult to go to war or to sign peace treaties. So, for instance, two civilizations that are very close will have trouble maintaining a war, but it would be a lot easier to sign treaties because the populations feel a certain sort of brotherhood.
In the diplomacy of humankind, the possibilities are endless. Do you want to create a culture that will attract the sympathy of all these other empires? Will you be feared by your neighbors? It's up to you to decide how you will mark history as a leader.
I did see earlier that this game got delayed until September. Or was it August? Oh, August, there we go. Got the date right there. It's got good thing to have things to look forward to in the future.
Okay, that one I can't wait to get my hands on. What have we got
There we
coming
go.
up next, Nicole?
Our next game was the breakout star of last month's PlayStation State of Play. To tell us more about the limb-snapping kung fu combat of Sifu, please welcome developers Slowclap.
Yeah, I can see why Zack Snyder would not feel in the right frame of mind to finish the film after that happened to him. It's very tragic.
Hi, I'm Pierre. I'm from Slowclap Studio, an independent game studio based in Paris, France. In
Return of the
Sifu,
King.
you play the role of a young kung fu student.
And the reason for that is it's such a long film that you don't have to watch it less. You don't have to watch it quite so many times as a shorter
You
film.
will be on the hunt for the assassins of your family through 5.
And it's such an
main
excellent film. I could probably watch it
As you move through these levels, you will have to use
many
every
times
tool
over 24
at your
hours.
disposal, whether it's your kung fu
Well,
skills
Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder got very different styles, so
to survive and prevail in dangerous
I can see why it ended up the way it did. Kind of a
So you may have
mess.
seen our
They should have
release
chosen
of
someone,
recent State of Play,
I don't know,
and,
can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but someone a bit closer to Zack Snyder's style to finish it, because then you might have got something a bit closer to what Zack Snyder was doing. But Zack Snyder films tend to be very dark and serious, whereas Joss, even when he does have dark stories in his projects, they're more light-hearted, there's more humour and jokiness in it. And that's kind of the appeal of Buffy and Angel.
As you saw in the trailer, when
And that works for him, I mean,
he
but it's
revives
not
instantly where they fell, and
It's a
when your character revives,
big difference from
character will age
Zack Snyder, so he was not the right person to take over the project. I guess they were thinking, well, he did Avengers, so he'll do the same thing for us. But the thing about Avengers is, he was, the whole project was his, so it was his vision all the way through, so it doesn't really...
Sifu is meant to be a challenging game. for sure.
it's not
There is a limit
so messy because the way the film turned out was the way it was always intended to be,
We'll be discussing more about
and it fits in
what
with the
exactly
Marvel
happens when you do have that game
tone
in the
for
coming
the other
weeks and
MCU
months,
films.
prior to launch. Sifu will
He'd
be
obviously watched
released
those and
in
he's familiar with the
2021
comics and thought
on PlayStation
he knew
5,
exactly what he
PlayStation
needed
4, and on
to
the Epic
do.
Games Store.
See, if Joss Whedon had been doing Justice League from the very beginning, that probably would have been a really good film. But because he picked it up halfway through, it was a mess.
Everyone will be Kung Fu fighting when Sifu hits PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5 later in 2021. And that brings our spring showcase to an end.
What?
I want to see a huge thank you to...
Whoa, Nicole. Look, we can't end it there. In true Resident Evil fashion, there's always got to be one final boss form to fight.
You're right. Okay. Yeah,
That's the
I can
end?
find one
Except
more
for what?
surprise.
One more?
Roll the tape.
Huh.
I know you are coming. I sense the power that flows through this land. Yet you do not fully understand it.
It's not Star Wars. So, no Star Wars, no games by any of those publishers that, as far as I know. Well, we'll continue the stream until after this is actually over. Moff Gideon, did you ever hear the tragedy of the Future Games show stream? I was definitely expecting more. And I fully support indie games, and I think it's great that indie games have been made. But the way that this was promoted kind of made it sound like there are going to be some big games in it as well.
And that definitely wraps up our show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Special thank you to Nicole, and a very, very special thank you to the
Gavin, I could do that, but I haven't really got anything to show off
Head
yet.
over to the Future Game Show page on Steam to add your favorite games from today's show to your wish list. And don't forget to check out GamesRadar.com for all of your news, guides, and features.
I'm Jeff Shine.
And I'm Nicole Tompkins. And this has been the third Future Game Show.
So I can't really show you any upcoming footage because I haven't got any to show off. It hasn't been it's kind of in progress, but there's nothing. It's not rendered or anything yet. But I'll be back on Monday to play Empire at War. I guess I was wrong in my stream description saying that there's going to be at least one Star Wars game revealed. I will keep that in mind. It's going to be at the midnight. Our clocks will have changed, so it should line up with the old. I'm going to pause that. Yeah, so our clocks have changed, so we should have the usual time difference between us and America. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So, because I'm not familiar with the mod, so let's say if I just start at Era 1, is there a way to progress to Era 2 within that, or is it just a set? I could only play Era 1 and then we'd have to start a new game to go to Era 2. Okay, that's good to know. Well, over the weekend I'll download the mod and get it installed. Sounds like a huge mod. It's just going to be me playing it because I don't know the mod at all. I don't really think I want to play that multiplayer. But if you want to play as well, I won't be doing multiplayer, but you can play as well. Okay. Well, Era 2 sounds the most appealing to me. But yeah, over the weekend I'll download it and get it all set up. And I'll keep all that in mind for the stream. Of course, I'll probably still only be streaming for an hour or so. What are your thoughts on Star Wars Legends? You mean the expanded universe? I'm obviously a big fan of expanded universe since I'm making Heir to the Empire. So how? Okay. I can imagine that Delta Source would be very useful. And looking forward to giving that a try. So I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit from talking for 2 hours, and I ran out of anything to drink quite some time ago. A little disappointed we didn't get to see any Star Wars games. I guess we'll have to wait a bit longer. I was really looking forward to finding out if the Lego game was going to get a release date, because I'm looking forward to playing that. Never mind. There will be other gaming events. So yeah, thank you all for watching with me. Chatting to you was fun as always. Yeah, I can imagine. So next time there's a gaming stream like this, I'll probably watch again and see what. Hopefully we'll have some Star Wars then, maybe. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I'm going to go. I need to get something to drink. And yeah. So yeah, thank you all for watching with me, for coming. I look forward to seeing you on Monday and playing Empire at War. So see you then. May the Force be with you. And yes, Thrawn, it was fun even without Star Wars because I got to chat with you guys. So take care.